It wasn't so long ago in the grand scheme of things when I was making videos featuring this bike as I was making progress at the tail end of rebuilding it. It had been a stalled project, gathering dust near my workbench, about 2/3 to 3/4 done, and I suddenly decided that I'd just get my finger out and get it done. And it started off, I think the first videos featuring this machine, it had a skinny red tank on it and no lights. And anyway, I've charted the progress I've made with it and how it's got from there to here as quite a nippy bike with decent electrics at last and quite bright lights, good performance and everything else. Initially, and I had really thought myself, I think I was saying that I rebuilt this engine probably about 30 years ago and just never got round to doing anything with it, and then I fitted it into this bike which I didn't complete. Well, since I've been using the bike and putting the finishing touches to it, I feel more and more that perhaps this engine hadn't been rebuilt by me. I do have another one very similar that's standing by to go in a project one day, and I think perhaps I got the two of them mixed up, I don't know. But going on the evidence of things we've seen in some of my videos, including when it used to jump out of third gear and the gearbox needed a rebuild, and going into there I discovered some screws in the engine that I just certainly wouldn't have reused. They were the wrong ones and the wrong type. Lots of little clues in there really that suggested that no, I don't think I had actually sort of fully rebuilt the engine. Now, whether I took the head off and checked if there was a high compression piston in there and had a feel for playing the big end, perhaps I might have done things like that, but I certainly didn't give it a full rebuild. And since I've been using it, I've got to say that the engine's performed exceptionally well. It's got loads of get up and go, but quite a bit of smoke and a bit of leakage around the cylinder head area and the head to barrel joint and things like that, which it does tend to make a little bit of a mess of itself if it's had a good long day out, and it sort of covers things like this in oil mist, and generally sort of comes back looking a bit grubby and untidy. And like I say, you throttle off for a corner or down a hill or something and open up again and there's a good puff of smoke behind. So I figured that I'd probably be taking the cylinder head off and having a look at it and see what I could do about it. Probably, I think, going by the spark plug being as clean as it is and the nice colour that it is now, I think probably we've got a very worn exhaust valve guide in there. And I was thinking of taking the head off, and I've got guides and I've got valves and things like that in my bits and pieces. And also there's this fin damage here which looks a bit untidy, but you know, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. The thing's been working okay. But then I suddenly remembered that probably 25 years ago or so I took this cylinder head to a friend of mine who had the equipment to do it after I fitted new valve guides, and asked him to recut the valve seats for me, and I had new valves for it as well. This has been on the shelf for about 25 years. It took him long enough to get round to doing it actually. It was a doorstop in his workshop, the cheeky bugger. For long enough, when I used to go and visit, he used to get quite embarrassed that my cylinder head was holding his door open into his office. But fair play, he did eventually get his finger out and do it. And he's the guy, incidentally, whose funeral I attended on the Trident late last year. So poor old Howell. But today I dug the head out, the new valves were with it, I ground the valves in, I fitted one, I'm going to fit the other, but I also found these new old stock competition valve springs with red paint on them. You can see the set that I fitted in there has got them, and this set and these are brand new, unused. And I just thought I'd talk about them because, again, the Sports Cubs and the Tiger Cubs, the standard ones, there's so many little differences in the engines and the specs and the things inside them to squeeze that extra 45% power out of them. The standard Cub is rated at 10 brake horsepower, the Sports Cub is rated at 14.5 with its higher compression piston, high lift cam, bigger ports, bigger inlet valve, things like that. Although the standard Cubs finished up with the inlet valves being larger as well. But these valve springs were unique to the high cam, high performance engines. But also little things like this, look at this. The valve spring seats are different as well. Look at the difference in diameter for the inner spring. The inner spring of the competition valve springs is of larger diameter than the standard one, so you have to have different valve spring seats as well to go with your Sports Cub valve springs. All these little known facts are little known, but I thought I'd share them with you. And the plan is, getting back to this, is just to have a cylinder head ready so I can just take this one off, put that one on, and we're back on the road again in no time. And also, like I say, there's one damaged fin on this one, but overall it's going to look a lot cleaner and tidier than this one, which can then probably receive a bit of TLC, and I'll attend to any valves or guides or anything like that this one might need, and this can be a slightly less presentable backup, and hopefully we might just have an end to the smoking and the puffing oil around the cylinder head joint issues that this one's got, and it might go out for a day and come back looking a lot less oily than it does at the moment. But that said, it is going really well, but it'd just be nice if it's not so messy anymore, and I think this is the key. And incidentally, these cylinder heads, these square cylinder heads, these are the ones that could start fights at auto jumbles. Just in case anybody needs to know, the last of the oval cylinder heads have got just as big an inlet port and just as big valves, but no, the square heads are a prized trophy to some people, and I've heard of people paying ridiculous amounts of money as well. But at least I've got this one here ready to take the place of this slightly worn and slightly damaged example. So that's a bit of good fortune.